let's talk about 1A. So the reason these two problems are not equivalent to each other is because this first one, the next step would be 12 divided by 24. 12, we're dividing it by 24. Where the second one would be 12 divided by 15. 12 divided by 15. Are two different division problems going to give us the same answer? No, not if they both start with 12. $12 divided among 24 people. Everyone's only going to get 50 cents, half of a dollar. But $12 divided by 15 people, everyone would be getting 80 cents. So I'm going to say the first one, the next step would be 12 divided by 24, where the second one would be 12 divided by 15. These won't get the same answer. It's as simple as that. Your next step, the division problem, 12 divided by this divisor, isn't going to give you the same answer. We're dividing by different numbers. So you could even just say that. No, they're not equivalent because we'd be dividing by different numbers. Hint, 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 hint. This is a question on your exit ticket. So maybe go back and re-listen to my explanation if you're like, I'm not sure. It's as simple as, nope, they're not equivalent. We're dividing by different numbers. Okay, let's do some practice with actually doing the division with the decimal. So, next problem. I would like you to write this one down. 834 decimal 6 divided by 26. Okay, and I'm going to get you started. Can 26 go into 8? Nope. This is where it's important to put the zeros, because when our decimal goes up, we want to make sure it's in the right spot. So 26 can't go into 8, but 26 can go into 83. So up to you. You're either going to be multiplying 26 by what? Like how many times do you think it might work? Or you can add, so one group of 26. What would it be when you add a second group of 26? All right, I want you to pause and finish the step. How many times can 26 go into 83? Okay, if I was solving this, here's what my brain's thinking. 26, that's close to 30. So if I counted 30, 60, 90, 90 is a little bit too much. So I think it's either going to be 2 or 3 times. So if I multiply by 2, 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 52. I think I could get closer. And that would make this 52 as well then. So what would it be if I was multiplying by 3? 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So if you added another group, your third would be 78 as well. I think this is as close as I can get. That's pretty close. Only 5 numbers off. So how many times was 26 able to go into 83? Goes in 3 times. Look where I'm writing it. Goes into 83 3 times, which got me to 78. When we subtract, how many numbers are in between there? 83 minus 78, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Just subtracted. What's our next step? Bring down. We're going to bring down that 4 and repeat. How many times can 26 go into 54? use the work you already did to figure that out. How many times can 26 go into 54? Pause. I want you to write up your answer up top and do your subtraction. Okay, let's check. So if it was one group, that would be 26. Two groups would be 52. That is very close. I'm only 2 numbers off. So it would be 2 times 26, 52. 2 times, which got me to 52. So when I subtract, I get 2. Notice how my numbers are written. So now that I'm about to bring down the number on the other side of the decimal, I run into my decimal. So my answer for how many times can 26 go into 26 is going to go above that number I just brought down. And can we answer that? How many times can 26 go into 26? 1 time. 26. So now that I'm subtracting, 26 minus 26 is 0. That's how I know I'm done. When I'm subtracting at 0 and there's nothing left to bring down. So our answer, 32.1. 32.1. Previously, I had you check your work. I want you to do that same thing. It's going to be slightly different this time. We are going to go up and over and multiply. So in this, 26 times 32.1. Actually, because 32.1 has more digits, I'm going to write that on top and then my 26. All right, pause your video here to see if you solved correctly, if we got the right answer. Okay, speed multiplying because you already did the work. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 is 19. So your first set of work should be 1926. I'm done with this 6 and I'm done with that 1. Before we multiply by the 2, remember that's a 20. So I'm going to add a 0 first. Then I can just pretend it's a 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 3 is 6. Your next row of work should be 6, 4, 2, 0. And if we add them up, 6, 4, 13, and 8. 8, 3, 4, 6. I'm running so close to my next problem. So I'm going to do this over here. 8, 3, 4, 6. But where should our decimal go in here? We have a decimal in our problem. We should have a decimal in our answer. Where should it go? I think the easiest way to remember is this one goes to the tenths. So this one should go to the tenths. And look at that. We got the correct answer, 834.6. All right, let's do one more to make sure that we are feeling confident. This should be pretty similar. We already did division with a decimal in here in the fall. Just our divisor is getting larger. So for our next problem, and I'm actually going to rewrite mine because I will run out of room. But I want you to write 48.36 divided by 39. There we go. Okay. Once again, I'll get you started. Can 39 go into 4? Nope, it goes in 0 times. Get in the habit of writing the 0. Can 39 go into 48? How many times do you think? Well, here's what my brain's saying. 39 and 48 really aren't that far off from one another. I know if I added a second group to my 39, it would be way over 48. In fact, that would be 18 and 7, 78. That is way over. So I know it can go in once. So let's subtract our 39. 48 minus 39. Again, if it's hard for you to do subtraction like this, even if you regroup, you could always count up. You're just trying to figure out how many numbers are in between there. So 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 9. Just subtracted. What comes next? Bring down that 3. All right, here's what I want you to do. Pause again. And I know 2 is getting pretty close. 2 groups of 39. See if 3 groups of 39 would be too much. Pause and figure that out. Is 3 groups of 39 too much? Okay, let's check. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 2, 11 would be too much. 117. I only have 93. So 3 groups is too much, so it must be 2. Write your 2 up top. But look, we just brought down that 3, so my number's going here. Don't forget that decimal. Go straight up. So 2 groups was 78. Did you already do your subtraction? What's 93 minus 78? Regroup, that becomes an 8. This becomes a 13. If this is hard for you, remember, you can always count up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5, 8 minus 7 is 1. Bring down your next number. All right, and now it's your job. Pause and figure out how many times do you think 39 can go into 156? 3 times was 117, so I would try more than 3. Keep adding if this is the method you choose. Pause and finish solving this problem. All right, here's what my brain's saying. If I'm using the multiplication, if I count by, let's say 40, 80, 120, 160, that's close to 160. Let's try 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 would be 15. Oh, look at that. If you add another group of 39, we get right on the money, 156. So 39 can go into 156 4 times, which got me exact. Are we done? We are. When we subtract, we get 0, and there's nothing left to bring down. So one last step. Let's check our work. We are doing the up and over rainbow. 124, or sorry, 1.24 times 39. All right, pause, check your work, and then come back when you're ready to see if you checked your work correctly. Although, if you got 48.36, you are correct. Let's multiply. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 3 would be 21. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Done with the 9 and done with the numbers up top. So I'm going to multiply by the 3. But it's not really 3, it's a 30. I'm going to add your 0 first. Now I can pretend it's a 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. When I add them, 6, 3, 8, 4. And where should my decimal go? If it was going to the tenths, hundredths here, it should be going to the hundredths in the answer. 48.36. 48.36. We did it correctly. Nice job, everybody. So let's look at our problem set. You have a couple more problems I want you to try. So it's on that same one, page 297. I'm looking at question 2. Divide, then check your work with multiplication. So we're going to do the same thing here. So your must-dos, I'd like you to do 2A and 2C. So you have all this extra room over here to check your work also on these problems. Okay, if you have questions, please come to office hours or the next lesson. So it'll be, I believe, lesson 27 next week. We'll also be practicing this. So if you struggled today, if you're really struggling with these, please come to Math with Miss Fretz. I think it'll be Monday. So please come, please ask questions, and please try your best. Good job, everyone. When you're ready to check your work on these ones, you can go on to the next slide.